Hello, and a warm welcome to all students of the Europe Hotel School. I am an AI performance support expert specializing in modern hospitality operations. I'm really pleased to be guiding you on this part of your learning journey. Today, we're diving into what is arguably the most critical period for any new hotel, the first 90 days. Understanding this phase isn't just about passing a course. It's about giving you a real, tangible edge in your career. We're going to look at the skills that truly separate the good from the great out there in the industry. All right, let's kick things off with a really important shift in perspective. It's so easy after months, maybe even years of planning, to see that opening day, that ribbon-cutting ceremony, as the finish line. But I'm here to tell you it's not. The truth is, that's the starting gun. That's when the real race begins, a high-stakes, high-intensity sprint. This is where true leaders are forged, and honestly, it's where a career like yours can really be made. So, that brings us to the first major pivot you'll have to make. And believe me, it's a big one. See, the skill set that makes someone a fantastic pre-opening planner, well, it's just not the same set of skills you need to be a great operational leader once the doors are open. Your world literally shifts overnight. You go from dealing with blueprints and theories to facing real, live, paying guests and all the unpredictable, wonderful, and sometimes messy challenges they bring with them. Just take a look at this contrast. It really lays it all out. On one side, you've got the pre-opening phase. It's all about setup, theory, setting standards. It's a controlled environment. But then, on the other side, you have the first 90 days. That's all about execution, reality, and sometimes a bit of controlled chaos. So what's the one thing, the one crucial tool that helps you bridge that gap and navigate the shift successfully? You guessed it. It's data. Okay, so with all this intensity, how do you even know if you're winning? How do you measure success? Well, it's definitely not about vague feelings or just thinking things are going well. It's about hitting two very clear, very measurable goals. I want you to think of these as the twin pillars that will hold up your entire post-opening strategy. So let's break them down one by one. First up, pillar number one, efficiency stabilization. Now, in all those pre-opening spreadsheets, you absolutely have a target for minutes per room. It's a perfect number, calculated in theory. But what happens when the hotel is sold out, you're in the middle of a checkout rush, and the pressure is really on? Well, that perfect number can go right out the window, and fast. Your very first goal is to close that gap between the plan and the reality. It's all about getting your team performing consistently, even under fire. And here's the second pillar, quality confirmation. This is huge. It is simply not enough to think your quality standards are high. You have to prove it. And how do you do that? You prove it with hard data, specifically with real-time guest satisfaction scores. I can't stress this enough. Those first reviews, those initial guest perceptions, they are absolutely foundational. They set the stage for your hotel's reputation for years to come. All right, so we've got our what locked in, stabilizing efficiency and confirming quality. Now let's talk about the how. And this is where we separate the old school from the new. A modern leader, they don't just rely on walking the floors and having a gut feeling. They go way beyond the simple spreadsheet. They learn to harness the incredible power of modern data analysis. I really want you to let this question sink in for a moment. In a live, fast-moving, complex operation like a hotel, is a gut feeling enough? Is a quick walkthrough of the lobby really going to tell you the whole story? The answer is no, absolutely not. If you can't measure your key performance indicators in real time, you are, for all intents and purposes, managing blind. And that's a dangerous place to be. And that leads us to the absolute core principle here. The modern leader moves away from anecdotal observation. Things like, I feel like the team is a little slow today. Instead, they move toward evidence-based decisions. They replace I feel with the data shows. This right here, this is the fundamental shift in mindset you need to make. So what are the tools of the trade for this? What's in your toolkit? We're talking about powerful business intelligence or BI platforms. Things like Tableau or Power BI. We're also talking about the increasingly robust reporting modules that are built right into your property management system or your housekeeping operations system. Don't think of this as just software. This is your modern-day toolkit. It's like having a set of X-ray glasses to see what is really happening on the ground at any given moment. Now, a word of warning. These tools can give you a literal mountain of data. It can be overwhelming, but a great leader doesn't get lost in the noise. They know how to cut through it all and focus on the handful of key metrics that really tell the story of the hotel's health. So, let's take a look at what those critical metrics are for your 90-day dashboard. Okay, I want you to picture this as your command center dashboard for those first 90 days. For example, tracking your actual versus target minutes per room. That's a direct, no-nonsense measure of your team's efficiency. Or how about maintenance snag frequency? That's just the rate of small issues, a leaky faucet here, a flickering bulb there. That metric tells you so much about the physical health of your brand new asset. Each one of these is like a vital sign, giving you a clear picture of your operations performance. All right, theory is great, but let's make this super practical. Let's walk through a real-world example. Imagine you're laser-focused on that second pillar we talked about, quality confirmation. So you decide to pull up the data on your guest cleanliness scores after your very first week of being open. And boom, just look at the clarity you get from a simple chart. Your goal was a 95% satisfaction score for cleanliness, but the reality, the actual data from week 1, came in at 88%. Now listen, this is not about failure. It's not about pointing fingers. This is a diagnostic tool. The data has just handed you a huge clue. It's pinpointed a problem area, and now you can start digging deeper to understand the why behind that number and figure out a smart way to fix it. This brings us to a final and honestly, maybe the most important concept of all. Because solving that 7-point gap in your cleanliness scores, well, that's not a one-and-done fix. Modern high-performance hotel management is all about creating a constant cycle of improvement. We call it the feedback loop. In this process, it's really quite simple but so powerful. Step 1, you track the key data, in our case, the cleanliness scores. Step 2, you make an evidence-based adjustment. It's not a guess. Maybe the data suggests you need to retrain a specific team, or perhaps you need different cleaning supplies for a certain surface. Step 3, you measure the impact of that change. Did the score go up? And finally, step 4, you refine and stabilize the process. You just keep repeating this loop, tracking, adjusting, measuring, refining, until you are consistently hitting and even exceeding your targets. And that right there is the magic. This is the ultimate payoff. This simple, data-driven feedback loop is the engine that transforms the initial, unavoidable chaos of a hotel opening into the stable, high-quality, and efficient operation you always plan for it to be. So as we wrap up, I want to leave you with this one final thought. Those first 90 days are going to set the entire trajectory for your hotel and for your own career. So the choice you have to make is actually quite simple. When those doors swing open and the pressure is on, are you going to be a manager who guesses, or are you going to be a leader who knows? The difference, as you've seen today, is data.